Well, hello there, and thank you for listening. Welcome to the second of our pilot series of our Jump into Success podcast. Let's go. Okay, so in this episode, we're going to play one of the old recordings that we've got, and it's with Ross Temple. Now, Ross Temple is one of our most successful graduates here at UKCPD, who's gone on to do extraordinary things. And in this interview, we discuss a little bit around mindset and some of his own work. So enjoy this, and be sure to subscribe, because the full live set of new recordings will be coming very, very soon. Till then, take care of yourself and enjoy this session. So, Ross, as you know, what we're talking about this evening is this notion of developing a mindset, but not just a mindset of success, but not just that, but it's also maintaining it. Because quite often in these things, you can get all psyched up. Yeah, I'm positive and I'm feeling good about myself. And I've got that growth mindset. Yeah. But I always call out a distinction between, growth mindset and success mindset in being maintained and having that bigger picture. And I guess, given the work that you do, I'm sure that you'll have something to add. But before we get into that, I guess I want to say congratulations, because I understand the back end of last year, 2023, you won an award. Why don't you tell the audience what you did?
Yeah, so I won an award for Speaker of the Year. So there was an event of 204 people there. And managed to get as the at the top three. There was three of us who got nominated for it. So I didn't even know that I was nominated for it, and then actually I won it. So that was a great result, to be honest.
Fantastic. And was that like just an online thing, or did you get to go to an award ceremony? Or
so it was an award ceremony.
Wow,
so it was lots and lots of people there. It was announced live, which was a great surprise to me.
It's your Oscar moment.
Yes, it did feel like that. To be honest with you, I don't really get nervous about things. And I remember when my name was up there, and I was thinking, hold on a minute. And then it got announced, and I remember I was stood up. I was even a little bit shaky, which I was a bit surprised about.
Wow!
So it was good though. No, great evening, great atmosphere. And then so I got that, and then I got a second award for it was me and one other speaker there, for selling in excess of £2 million worth of services from stage as well. So that was
£2 million. You and another guy. That's fantastic.
Yes, me and one other guy, a gentleman called Nick Stubb.
Oh, well, I know Nick is another student, another college member.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel so proud. I feel like the father of the children I never had. I'll have to let Nick. I didn't realize it was Nick as well, so I'll have to send him a little message to say congratulations.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Well, given that, I mean, these are huge numbers you're talking here. Having that sort of success mindset must be key to what you do, and what you do for the people who come along to your seminars, and the people that I know you coach as well. Lots of them, both personally and other people that you see. I guess my starter question would be, what would you define? What would your definition be, or how would you explain this notion of a success mindset?
Yeah, I think it's a really good question, and actually, it takes me back to a conversation I was having. So to give some context here, so I'm the head coach for big business events, and like today I had a group coaching session. So every Tuesday I do a group coach session, about 30 odd entrepreneurs and business owners on that single coaching session. We run coaching sessions regularly. But week before, I spoke to excess of 200 entrepreneurs and business owners in Birmingham. And where was the other place? Birmingham and Reading. And then last week, I was with about 35 entrepreneurs and business owners, where we held an event over 3 days. So the reason why I share that is because on a regular basis, I'm speaking to large numbers of business owners, entrepreneurs, and clients.
Yeah.
And you start to notice some traits.
Yeah.
You start to notice some patterns here. And when I look at the word or look at the whole phrase of successful mindset, I remember in lockdown, and I was talking to some clients, and I said, "What does mindset mean to you? Like, what comes up for that?" And a lot of people are like positive thinking, motivation, and all these type of things. And I said, "And when you say those words, what else comes to mind? Do you see that something that's fixed? Do you see that something that's temporary?" And a lot of people's like, "Well, yeah, you get motivated, but then all of a sudden you can dip, or you feel super inspired, but then it just dulls off." And then someone said, "Mindset just seems like something that's concrete, something that's set." And I said, "That's what I'm looking for."
Yeah.
I said, because mindset is how many people treat their mentality. They think that the way they see something is set in stone.
It's fixed.
It's fixed. Yeah, it's fixed. And for me, I mean, Tone, having trained with yourself for many years now, I remember when I first started off on my journey, my whole obsession about why do we do what we do and how do we make the changes that are necessary is because I come to understand, how is it this group of people seem to be stuck, but this group of people seem to be thriving? And it all does start with your mindset, which is ultimately, how do you shape and mold your perspectives, your perceptions? This leads on to the whole element of your attitudes. We know about the power of belief, which is something that's thrown around a lot. You've got to change your beliefs around it. Yeah, that's all well and good, but how? How do we craft those? How do we mold those? And what you'll find is that you've got to, and it sounds so cliche, but the first question you've got to ask yourself is, what does success mean for you? And it's different. It's a normalization. You can't put it in a wheelbarrow, because what success means to me is different to what success means to Tony. And me and Tony will have these chats. We'll talk about how things are going, what's been happening. And Tony will come alive with certain things that success means to him. And I'll come alive about things that success means to me. So first things first, just understand what you stand for with success.
Yeah.
And just take that time. I remember my first session with yourself, Tone, when we had to draw a picture of what do we want from this? What is success? And
I remember that too.
I drew a picture of me on stage as a stick man, looked like my 3-year-old child had done it. I had a spotlight on me. I had the back of people's heads watching me, and I had 2 leaves either side of me, which was a sign of growth, with a love heart doing what I love, a pound sign earning the money I wanted to earn, and an anchor giving back to others. Well, guess what? That's what I do. That's
fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. And I do remember that. That was one of the exercises we used to do when we were at the training centre back in Swindon. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. Brilliant. Great. I mean, and I guess that kind of echoes, the kind of ideas I've got around, that idea of a mindset for success is, as opposed to just growth, which can be, I'm growing now, but then I kind of get distracted and the energy runs out, and then, because it's not set. It's not set. It's kind of like a little bit spongy. This kind of growth thing can be a bit spongy. You've got to set it and make it a bit more tough. So I guess I got a couple of questions here, just to keep us on target, because I know otherwise we'll start chatting around all sorts and I'll be pouring out wine and we'll be here all night. Given what you've said about the mindset and your personal experience, and you mentioned about, that 1 or 2 clients you've mentioned, how do you use that concept with your coaching, with your clients, be it with a group or even with a one-to-one? How do you get them to really kind of see the difference between not having it and having it, and that transition period between, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, definitely. So I think the first part of that comes into play with the language. Right. So someone might say, I said, what does success mean to you? And they'll say, I want to be financially free. Okay, great. Yeah. Tell me about financial freedom. Well, I better do this. I better do that. Okay, how much money do you need to earn to be financially free? Millions. How many millions? And once you actually start to get it down, like many of you know, chunking down, it's actually, in fact, I don't need millions, but if I was to double my revenue, if I was to double my personal income, that's actually going to make a financial difference to me. Okay, great. Then checking in. You know, and some of the basic ways of doing this, don't complicate it.
Yeah.
On a scale of 0 to 10, you know,
Yeah.
10 being you really want this, 0 being no, and anywhere in between. Let's explore that. If you was to double your revenue over the next 12 months, how successful would you feel? I'd feel a 10. How much do you want this now? A 10. And it's just some of this understanding what we say success is and what the meaning of success is two different things.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Because you've got to take the action, you've got to stay committed to it. And I guess you've got to have that real core belief, passion, if you want to call it passion, but I call it this core belief. It's part of who you are, that you believe it's possible. Anything is possible. Because I want it, I know I can do it. I'm just going to figure it out.
There's no other way.
No.
Like that for me, like, and I'm quite intense with some of my ways, but it's like there's no other way. There's no other option.
No.
And if you've got that, there's no other way, there's no other option, you will do all you possibly can to get it.
Yeah. Well, Ross, I'm sure nobody would ever accuse you of being intense. I get accused of that too, so it's fine. Shocking. Yeah.
I think the whole thing, like what you said there, Tony, about, you know, how do we do more in 2024?
Yeah, do more in 24. That's our thing at the moment.
Do more in 24. Do you want to keep sitting there spectating, watching everyone else move past you, and then 12 months from now you say to yourself, I wish I'd have started 12 months before, if only I had more time? You know, as myself and Adam, we're always discussing about how to do things bigger, how to do things better. And you know, one thing Adam said, he said, you're never going to be as young or as healthy as you are today.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Well, look, this year I'm going to be, I can't even believe I'm saying this on camera, I'm going to be 60-year-old. Can't believe I've said it. I've said it out loud now. So there you go. And clearly I haven't got the same energy and bounce back from events that I used to have, 25 years ago when we started. Yeah. That said, do I still have the passion and the drive and the love for what I do? Yes, I do. And so I'm just a bit more measured about it. But do I still have that sort of mindset for success for the business, for the college, for our students, for our members? Probably even more so. Yeah. We just do things slightly differently. And actually doing them online, of course, has made it much easier for us. So we don't have to travel around the countryside like you're doing at the moment. I mean, you're me, like, those years ago, doing all that traveling around.
Yeah, yeah. But then again, it does, like, sounds cliche again, but I love to do it. Like, I've got next week, I've got 4 days in a row, different destinations.
Yeah.
Different destinations. Bang, fingers one event straight into the van, onto the next. But it doesn't, it's because it's who I am.
Yeah. And that's it. That's why I always say you have to take it to that, we'll think about logical levels. You've got to take it to that. Is this who I want it to be? If it is, then you've got to step into those shoes. Because to use your sort of illustration of being a spectator, that ain't going to get you there.
No, it's not. And the truth of the matter, I mean, I was going to do my utmost not to go down the path of speaking about logical levels, because I always loved that model, right? And I remember when we done the interview before and you said, what was the model that was great for it? Like, I love that. But it's true. You've got to make it who you are, but make it who you are before you are it. See, many of you are waiting to get the success and the result for you to validate that you can be it and do it. But you've got to be it internally. Then you're acting the way in terms of your behaviors, as look at the logical levels, creates a stronger belief, you form your identity, all of a sudden you're it.
Yeah, perfect. Now, one of the things that we bang on about on the Be Inspired group, well, actually the college generally, and part of what I believe to be part of the formula for creating that sense of having a success mindset and then maintaining it, is having a continuous professional development, or CPD, or personal development that's ongoing all of the time. And I guess I just wonder what you thought of that, given the amount, because otherwise you become empty. You've got to put stuff in because you're helping people all the time, pouring it out. I mean, I'm constant. If you see my desk here right now, there's like books everywhere, and I'm on various different online courses. I mean, you just won a prize for doing all the things that you do. You've got great clients. What's your sort of opinion on, getting committed to personal development on an ongoing basis?
It's not a choice.
No.
It's absolutely no way is it a choice in any way, shape, or form. See, you've got to work on your weaknesses. And if you don't, your weaknesses only get worse. But the strengths that you've got will soon dwindle if you do not continue to exercise them. Yeah. So either way, you've got to be in a place of being coachable, being focused, and being engaged. And if you don't have that, when you feel your best. And you feel your best when you are in a position and in a mindset of striving towards the success you want. Life becomes dull and it becomes depleted when you are staying the same.
Yeah.
That's that it's the commonality between it. Yeah. And I see it time and time again. The whole thing about state management is that you've got to strive. Now, this will be clear here. Is that there are things that happen in life. Yeah. Sure. Listen, I've had difficulties in my life over the last 12 months. My dad passed away. I know you've had the same, Tony. It happened to you. Your father passing away, and recently your mother as well. It's terrible. I've had a personal breakup this last 12 months. Now, you've got every reason in this world. You can find thousands of them why you shouldn't do what it is you should be doing. Yeah. But really, all you need is the one reason why you absolutely must.
Yeah.
And that must has got to be bigger than anything else, because then you will go and get it. You'll be it, you'll become it, and it will become part of you. Yeah. It's that simple. And the only way to do that is to understand these blind spots that we have in our lives, and professionally and personally, and work on these through continuing your own professional and personal development. That's it.
Absolutely. In fact, it's not even a big secret. It's obvious, but I think sometimes people just forget they got to keep on doing it, which is why, we've done, the Be Inspired group and the regular practice groups and all the things we do to help all of the college members. And, having you on as an interviewee is just part of that process. And we really do appreciate it. Well, look, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I know you're in a hotel. You've got a long few days ahead of you. What would be one other thing that you might add to the guys watching this evening, just to sort of give them a bit of a G up, as it were?
Don't try and do it alone. Surround yourself with those who are doing it. It's that simple. You can't shy away from where you want to be. You've got to step in to where you want to go. And the quickest and fastest way for you to do that is to surround yourself with peers, the right circle of people, mentors and coaches that can just help you, take your hand every step of the way, show you where you're going wrong, show you where you need to go in order to go right, and to shine a spotlight on that journey for you. Because without that, you're going to get lost. When you get lost, you get frustrated. Frustration leads into procrastination. Procrastination leads into your productivity dwindling away. Before you know it, 6 months has passed, 12 months has passed. You've asked yourself, where has that year gone? And nothing's changed.
Exactly. And that's the old thing about, there's two things there, I suppose. One, this notion of, we're still in January, New Year's resolutions, the very frustration because they're not well formed, haven't got the resources and the right people around you. And also there's that old saying, show me your friends and I'll tell you about you. And there's a lot of truth in that. If you're surrounded by people who can do or can't do, you're going to be reflecting one of those type of things. So, this is not complicated, no way. No. Well, look, Ross, we really appreciate your time, and it's great to have you back on. It's really, really great. And I'm sure we'll have you back on again at some point in the future. So we wish you all the successes with what you're doing. Okay, so there you have it. That was the recording we did with Ross Temple. I think it's way back in January of this year. That's 2024. Cut off there at the end because we went on to talk about a personal matter which we didn't obviously want to share with everybody in the entire galaxy. So there we go. Be sure to subscribe because lots more coming very, very soon. Till then, take care. Bye for now.